that mentality, man. Let's get into the vehicle accident, dude. Take me back to that night, man.
Bro, I literally, man. So I get married July 20th, 2019. I get in some of the best shape of my life, man. My wife is an athlete. My wife ran track. Even when she's not in shape, she looks like she's in shape. She's just born with strong legs and a 12 pack. It's irritating, you know. Uh, you know. So I got in some of my best shape. We got married in July. I went on a strict diet starting in March. I call it Psycho Beezy mode. My last name is Brown. People call me Beezy. I call it Psycho Beezy mode. 4 months. I'm eating spinach, oatmeal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even I'm when I'm trying on my suit, the ladies like, man, we keep having an edit every time. I told her, I was like, look, I'm not person you see today. That's not how you gonna see when I pick my suit up. I get into some of the best shape, man. We do our wedding in Vegas. We get back. Like we're kind of like decompressing from that. So we get married July 20th, July 29th. I'm in Beverly Hills. It's 4 a.m. I'm in Beverly Hills. I don't know if you're familiar with LA, but
No.
okay, got you. I didn't know where you're based out of. So I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm driving down Wilshire Boulevard. It's 4 a.m. There's no traffic at all. I'm driving slow. I don't see anybody coming. I don't see anything in my way. And then next thing I know, boom, my car gets hit. I'm like, man, what's going on? I spin out. It hits me on my right passenger front side. I spin out to the intersection. I'm like, yo, what just happened? And then I look up, and the guy who hit me, his car flips over on the curb. I see little sparks and flames go up, and then his car flips over on the curb. So I'm like, oh. So I hop out the car, I run over there, my adrenaline is going. I run over there to go help him because I'm like, oh, that it looked kind of ugly. So, um, like I said, I didn't even realize what the impact was. Then I
Yeah.
look at my car. My car is like smashed in all the way. So Beverly Hills is, it's a very like prestigious city or whatever. So, however it happened, like the police got accident instantly. So they were there. They sat me down or whatever, and they're just talking. They get dude's information. Like, come to find out, like, for one, the car wasn't registered. It wasn't his car. He didn't have an ID. He didn't have any insurance. All of that. Um, and they said he wasn't drunk. I can't call that or whatever, but he was going like super super fast. Driving down a quiet street and down to like a business district. Like the speed limit is only like 25 to 30. Um, so I like I said, the cops sat me down on the curb. My adrenaline's kind of like going down. I go to get up. I'm like, oh, like I couldn't get up. Um, my car is not drivable. So my wife got to come get me, take me home. Like I'm like my head is a little banged up. My shoulders banged up. My neck's banged up. My back's banged up too. Everything kind of hurts. So like I can't really isolate anything. So I go to sleep. Next day, I cannot get out. I can't lift myself out the bed. I gotta like roll out the bed, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm like crawling on the floor, and I'm whining like I'm 2 years old. Like oh. I feel this crazy pain in my back going all the way down to my left leg. I can't really feel my toes wiggle. I'm like yo. I'm like what's what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so come to find out, I have my L4, L5, L5S1, uh, two huge bone discs, an 11. Is it centimeter or millimeter that they do? I can't remember.
Millimeter, I think.
Millimeter. So yeah, I didn't want to be wrong. An 11 millimeter and a 12 millimeter bulge in both of those sections, and they're like, man, like, and it's like all your fluids out there. Like they did the MRI. They showed me everything. They're like it's crushed, like it's flat. Like you're gonna need surgery, and you're gonna need physical therapy just to even get you in position of when we do
Yeah.
surgery. So I was doing physical therapy for months. Uh, I had surgery scheduled for early 2020. Um, and then COVID happened, so that has to get pushed back. So I'm literally waiting from August of 2019 to April of 2020 to get my surgery. I'm doing physical therapy. The fit what's it called, when they sat me down on the table and
Like, was
oh
it?
my god, ultrasound. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry. They doing the ultrasound. Like he's adjusting me as good as he can, and then he put this thing on me that like stimulated the nerves or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. And so in physical therapy, after like a couple of months, they would get me to the point where I could stand up in the moment, so I'm feeling a little more confident. But I couldn't even get to the door of the physical therapy before I'm hunched back over. You know what I mean? And so I get to like a decent enough point that I have my surgery. I have to just lay in the bed and not shower after the surgery for about a week. And then, a week later, I'm back to square one. I had to do rehab physical therapy, for the next few months.
yeah, yeah. And I seen on one of your Instagrams, you were talking about how it put a lot of your goals and your dreams on hold.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure.
did you have a lot of opportunities going on at that time when this happened, and then it kind of set you back?
I mean, yeah, for sure. So, I was full speed in music. I was doing a lot of songwriting. With a lot of big producers at the time. And the way songwriting goes is, you know, so A&Rs or labels or artist managers will kind of like send out what type of songs they're looking for which artist or which artist have an album coming out. Like they'll email that, send that, and then so you get with the producers or whoever puts together sessions. You go into sessions and you're just in there all night, just coming with song concepts, either coming with a verse or coming with just melodies or coming with a hook. So you're doing a lot of that. So and these things are tedious. They take a lot of thought. They take a lot of strong communication because you might be in there with 3, 4 producers, 6, 7 different writers.
Hmm.
Um, you're in there for 10 to 12 hours. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's late at night, and you have to have a lot. You have to have so many things blocked out so you can be locked in, and you're thinking creatively for a person that's not you,
Yeah.
and you're trying to create a sound for them that's gonna be able to sell their album. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And you have to differentiate it. You have to try to come up with different melodies. Yeah, and so you're doing that, and then I just keep myself busy. I have a home studio set up, so I'm always trying to bring vocalists in and just keep myself busy when I'm not in session. Well, so yeah, I was full fledged in that. Like we knocking out like 5 to 6 songs a day, and then sending them out to the producer to see if they vibe with it, and sending them to either A&Rs at the labels or artist managers. Like you have to put together so many different packages and send those emails out, and then if we like this, change this. It's a lot, and it's very very tedious, and you have to, and you're doing all of this like it's not like, all right, I go into a session and I leave the session. I was in there for 8 hours. I was getting $45 an hour, or a
Yeah.
lot of times not a flat. You're doing all of this to sell it to then make your money. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? So it's like you're doing all of this with a whole lot of uncertainty. You know, um, but that's what you sign up for when you do it. So
Yep.
the key I tell for anybody that's a creative, or if you're living like an unconventional life, everything else going on around you kind of has to be so stable so you can be able to thrive in this unstable environment. And you know, the accident, everything it did to me mentally, physically, especially coming right after my wedding. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I just 9 days ago, I just told this lady that she could trust me with her life to lead her forever. And then in
Yeah.
9 days, she gotta help me. 9 days later, she gotta help me use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
so, like this. There's a lot going on. My wedding was very expensive. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, like you know, there's a lot going on. You know, um, uh, and it's just like it was just overwhelming me so much. It's like I just had to shut so many things down mentally.
Yep.
I'm gonna be really honest with you,
Mhm.
and I don't want to be insensitive when I say this, but
Yeah.
in all honesty, the fact that the world kind of had to shut down and so many industries weren't able to work and everything had to slow down, that actually gave me peace of mind
Hmm.
because nothing was going on anyway. So because from August to February, I felt like now I'm missing out on so much. I'm
Yep.
losing opportunities. You know, this is a very like, what have you done for me lately kind of industry. So I'm like, man, all these producers are gonna forget about me, or these my peers they gonna land these songs, and then I'm not needed. I'm thinking all these thoughts. You know, so when the world kind of slowed down, it kind of helped me just be able to focus on my therapy, focus on how I recover, and lock in on that. Like I said, I don't want to be insensitive because I know how much of an ordeal the pandemic was, but luckily in
Hmm.
my favor, you know, like the Grammys didn't happen that year. You
Yep.
know, so many, a lot of the projects that we were working on, like a lot of things got put on hold. Um, so yeah, like luckily at least that helped me deal with that. But when things started opening back up, you know, I was still just I was I was just still mentally in a weird creative place. Like
Hmm.
a lot of things couldn't really kick creatively. You know, mentally I just didn't all the way feel myself, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it definitely took a toll.